How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Samech Vav, Daf 66 of Masechta Sanhedrin. Friends, more about different people that get stoned. Alright, Daf Samech Vav with Aleph, fourth line into the Daf. Zogt the Mishnah Mechalas HaShabbos. Somebody who is Mechal Shabbos is Chayiv Skila. B'dovish Chayavan al Zdeinei Koris v'al Shigigosoi Chatos. If it is something that if you did intentionally without any warning, you would be chayiv kares for it, and if you did it by accident, you would be chayiv a korban chatas. If you did it and you were warned not to do it, so then you would be chayiv skila. If you accepted the warning and did it anyways. Zogt the Gemara, from the fact that we said that you're specifically chayiv skila, if it's something that you'd be chayiv al zdono kares v'al shigigaso chatos, that implies that there are other malachas on Shabbos that you are not chayiv al zdono kares v'shigigaso chatos. Right? We're saying specifically, if you do the type of malacha on Shabbos that you're chayiv al zdono kares v'shigigaso chatos, then you're chayiv skila if there's a warning. But if it's not one of those melachas, then you would not be chayiv skila, implying that there are types of melachas on Shabbos that you would not be chayiv al zdono kares v'shigigaso chatos. So it says the Gemara Mechlal the Ika Midi the Chil Shabbos, implying that there are melachas on Shabbos. The Ika Midi the Chil Shabbos have ve'ein chayavin lo shigigaso chatos v'lo zdono kares, and things that would be considered Chil Shabbos, and yet you would not be chayiv a korban chatos for accidental violation, nor kares for intentional violation. So, what are such melachis on Shabbos that would be Chil Shabbos but would not have azdono kares v'ashigigaso chatos? So, tchumen v'alibud Rabbi Akiva, according to Rabbi Akiva, who says that tchum Shabbos is mida oraisa, yet you would not be chayiv al shigigaso chatos v'azdono kares. Where am I? Havare v'alibud Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Yossi. Alternatively, of course, Rabbi Yossi's opinion is havare lilav yotzos, that havare is merely a loy saisei. So it is not, it's not a chiv skila, it's not a chiv kares, there's no korban chatas, it's simply a mitzvah loy saisei. Havara, according to Rabbi Yossi, who says havare lilav yotzos. Says the Mishnah, hamikalal aviv v'imo eino chayiv ad sheikalim b'shem. So if somebody curses Rahman al-Islan, his father or his mother, so he's only chayiv if he uses the Shem Hashem, if he uses Yud Kei Vav Kei. Kilam b'chinoi, but if he uses a kinoi like Elokim, so Reb Meir mechayiv. So Meir says he'll be chayiv for that as well. The Chacham potum, the Chacham say no, you'd be potter for that. Says the Gemara, man Chachamim. Who are the Chacham? Menachem Reb Yossi. It's Menachem Reb Yossi the Tana that we learn in the verse. Menachem Reb Yossi Omer. Says Reb Nachman Reb Yossi, Benokvo Shem Yumos, that the pasuk says, right? I'm going to read the pasuk. V'nokev Shem Hashem Mos Yumos. Somebody who curses the name of God shall surely die. Rogam Yigmu also Kol Eda Kager Ka'ezrach. Right, we're going to stone him. Benokvo Shem Yumas, because he cursed the name of God, he will die. So the shaila is, it already says at the beginning of the pasuk, Benokvo Shem Hashem. So why does it then have to reiterate at the end of the pasuk, Benokvo Shem Yumas? You could just say Benokvo Yumas. Kilo, once it already said at the beginning of the pasuk, Venokev Shem Hashem Mos Yumas. So at the end of the pasuk, just should say Benokvo Yumas. So why does it say Shem? Well, it's to teach that by so the extra word is to teach us a completely different halacha, which is that when you curse your parents, you have to say shame, you have to say yud kei vav kei, and not any kind of kinui. So again, so says the Gemara, man chacham, who are the chacham who say that a kinui you'd be potter for using Elokim, for example, when cursing one's parents. Rabbi Nachman Bar Yossi, that's like Rabbi Nachman Bar Yossi, the Tana that we learn in the Brisa, Rabbi Nachman Bar Yossi Omer, says Rabbi Nachman Bar Yossi, Benokvo Shem, you must, that when it says at the end, when it reiterates, when it repeats at the end of the pasuk, Benokvo Shem, you must, Matam Alom Hashem, how come it repeats the word Shem? It could have just said Benokvo, you must. Limit al Makalu of V'imo, it teaches us a separate halacha that when it comes to Makalu of V'imo, Sheinu chayiv ad shikalim b'shem, that dafki you have to curse with shame Hashem. You have to use Yud Kei Vav Kei Kinoi you'd be potter for according to Chacham. Tana Rabbanan the rabbis taught. Ish matam lomer ish ish. So when it comes to, right, it says, I'm reading the pasuk, ki ish ish asher yikal es aviv es imo mos yumos aviv imo kilel domav boy. So it says in the context of cursing one's parents, it says ish. So as a turn about an ish, it says ish. Matam lomer ish ish. Why the double ish? Why ish ish? Lirabois bas tumtum androgynos, to teach, to include if a daughter or if a tumtum or if an androgynos, if any of these people curse their parents, they are included in the consequences. Asher yikal es aviv esimo, who curses one's father and mother. Enli elo aviv ve'imo. All I know is if you curse your father and mother tzazamen, together. Aviv shaloi imoi, imoi shaloi aviv. Right, but what about your father alone? What about your mother alone? Minayin, how do I know? Tamilomer aviv v'imo kilel damav bo. That the pasuk says at the end of the pasuk. Let's read the pasuk. Ki ish ish asher yikalel es aviv. So we see that yikalel is juxtaposed to aviv. Ve'es imo. Most you must aviv ve'imo kilel. So in this case, imo is right next to kilel damav bo. So the first time it says Asher Yikalel es Aviv, so Aviv is close to Asher Yikalel, and then it says at the end of the pasuk it says Aviv v'imo Kilel, so imo is closer to Kilel this time. So you have in one instance Aviv is closer to Kilel, the other instance imo is closer to Kilel. So again, so Aviv v'imo Kilel. So when it reiterates at the end of the pasuk Aviv v'imo Kilel, Damavo Aviv Kilel, Imo Kilel. So in the beginning of the pasuk you have Aviv Kilel, and then the pasuk you have Imo Kilel, to teach that even if you curse each one individual, you would be chayiv for that as well. Divrei Reb Yoshia, that is Reb Yoshia's opinion. Reb Yonason, mimashma shnein ke'echad umashma echad b'fnei atzma ad sheyifrad l'cha kosuv yachtav. Reb Yonason says, look, if it means together, the pasuk would have to say together. For example, I think that's a pasuk that you can't plow with an ox and a donkey tzazamen together. So there it says dafka, it says yachdov, together. So therefore, if the Torah was talking about together, it would say together, as it does by l'sach b'shor v'chom yachdov. And the fact that over here it says but doesn't say yachdov, so then that means includes either or. Okay, fine. Okay, so if a person curses his parents tzazamen or aviv / imo individually, you're going to be chayiv for that. He shall surely die. Beskila, we're talking about stoning. Ata omer beskila. Wait, how do you know it's talking about stoning? Maybe it's one of the other capital punishments. Nemerkan domav boy v'nemelhalan demeim bam. Well, it says over here domav bo, and it says by Ovi Yedoni Demeim Bam Malaholim Biskila. So just like by Ovi Yedoni, it's explicit that we're talking about stoning. Afkan Sir Ochid by cursing one's father and mother. We're talking about Afkan Biskila here. Ochid, we're talking about Skila. Okay, fine. So we see the punishment for cursing one's parents is skila. We see that, okay? But as we know, of course, from learning Masechta Sanhedrin, that whenever you have a punishment, there also needs to be a warning. So we see that the punishment is stoning. Where's the warning? So, Tamulomar Elohim lo yisekal el v'gomer. So it says, don't curse Elohim. Don't curse Elohim. So Elohim could be a reference to Kamina Dain, right? For example, Ada Elohim Yavai Dvar Shneim, right? Elohim could be a Kamina judge. Okay, so when it says Elohim Loiskalel, don't curse Elohim, that could mean don't curse a judge. Okay, and if your father's a judge, well then, if you can't curse a judge, you can't curse your father either. So you see, that's the warning against cursing one's father if your father's a judge, because you can't curse a judge. And so again, if his father's a judge, so then he's included, the father is included in Elohim Loiskal. If his father was the leader of the Jewish people, so then he's included in the prohibition and the warning against V'nosi bam chalesar, don't curse the Nasi. So if your father is a judge, so the warning against cursing him would be Elohim Liskala. If your father is the Nasi, then the warning against cursing him would be V'Nasi Ba'amcha L'Sar. Einoi loy dayin v'loy nasi minayim. But what if your father is not a dayin? What if your father is not the leader of the Jewish people? So how do you know that you can't curse your father? And Omart, you said, Arei ato don binyan av mishnein. Well, we can make a binyan av, that just like the halacha is that you can't curse a nasi and a dayin, so we'll say just like you can't curse them, you also can't curse your parents. Right, but Fekti Gemara though. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Fekti Gemara. So we learned that from Binyan Av. How so? Well, Lori Nasi Kiri Dain, V'Lori Dain Kiri Nasi. Look, the nature of a judge is unlike the the nature of a Nasi is unlike the nature of a judge, and the nature of a judge is unlike the nature of a Nasi. Lori Dain Kiri Nasi, the nature of a judge is unlike the nature of the leader of the Jewish people. Shari Dain Atamitzuva also, that a judge you are commanded to listen to his verdicts. Kiri Nasi Shei Ato Mitzuva also, but a Nasi you are not commanded to listen to his halachis that he establishes, because I guess he's not establishing halachis. V'lori nasi kri dayin, and the nature of a nasi is unlike the nature of a dayin. Shanasi atamitzuva al also, that a nasi you are commanded not to rebel against him. Kri dayin is unlike the nature of a judge. Atamitzuva al also, you're not commanded against rebelling against a judge. So they're unique, they're different. However, the common trait between a judge and a nasi is that shein ba'amcha, they are part of your nation, they are yidden. V'atamuzur al kililason, and you are warned against cursing them. Af ani avi shebe'amcha, af ani avi avicha shebe'amcha. I will also therefore bring in your father, who is part of the nation, who is like a law-abiding citizen. V'atamuzur al kililaso, you are also not allowed to curse your father, just like you're not allowed to curse a nasi or a dayan. But Frekti Gemara, wait up. Ma le asada shava shaboin shekain gedulason gar maloin. But one second. What were the places where we say you can't curse these people? A nasi, a dayan. These are choshev mention. These are very important people. So maybe you can't curse a VIP, but just a regular father. I'm sure he's a great guy, but he's not a dayan. He's not a nasi. Maybe it would be okay to curse him. So Tamulomar lo skal cheresh. Well, the pasuk also says that you cannot curse a deaf person. Now, a deaf person isn't like considered, like a choshev person, like a nasi, like a dayan, and still you can't curse a deaf person. So therefore, so we're saying even the downtrodden people you cannot curse. So certainly then. So we see from powerful people like the nasi and dying all the way down to the cheresh, you can't curse these people, and therefore you also can't curse your father. But wait, maybe a cheresh is unique, is because he's deaf, he has enough trouble that we dafka taking care of him and say that you can't curse him, but just a regular person, maybe you can curse. Nasi v'dayin ochicha. Okay, well then let's prove it from the nasi and the dayin that they are not, umlalim like the cheresh, and yet, right, they're important people, and yet you also cannot curse them. So ma'al nasi v'dayin shekin gedulas and garmalon. Yeah, but the nasi and the dayin, as we said, they're very choshev people. Maybe that's why you can't curse them. So we say cheresh yochiach. Okay, so let's learn out from the cheresh, who's not a choshev person, he's just a regular person. Cheresh v'chazor adin, but we'll say but he's unique because he's a cheresh. So lo rizek rizev lo rizek rizeh. Look, the nature of the cheresh is unlike the nature of the nasi and the dayan. The nature of the nasi and the dayan is unlike the nature of the cheresh. Tzad shavish shabayin. But what is right? So they're unique, but what is the common thread? Shin ba'amcha, that they are yidden, ba'ato muzar al kilalason, and you are not allowed to curse them. Afani avi avicha of shabamecha. So I will also include one's father, who is a the nation, and a law-abiding citizen. You're not allowed to curse your father. So but 1 second. In the cases of the Nasi, the Dayan, the Cheresh, they're all unique scenarios, right? A Dayan, not everybody's a Dayan, not everybody's a Nasi, there's only one Nasi, right? A Cheresh, these are sort of unique scenarios. So maybe in these unique scenarios you're not allowed to curse them, but maybe in regular scenarios you would be, right? There would not be this lab. So, Imke, you can skip the word Ella. Imke nichtov kra oy Elohim v'cheresh. Yeah, but the pasuk could say either just have Elohim and cheresh, and then we would be able to learn from Elohim and cheresh. We would be able to learn out Nasi, or Nasi v'cheresh, or Nasi and cheresh. We'd be able to learn Elohim. Elohim lamali. Why do I need Elohim? Kilu. Why don't we just say the Nasi and the cheresh, and then we'll say, well, if the Nasi and the cheresh you can't curse, then also Dain you also can't curse. So why do we say Elohim? Right, Elo Sakal explicitly if we don't need it. So Imenu Inyan Legufo, if it's not saying, if we don't need it to teach that you can't curse a judge, because we already know that, just from having Nasi and Cheresh we'd be able to learn that. So Taneu Inyan La'aviv, so let's say that it is referring to not a judge, but rather to one's father, that you can't curse your own father. Okay, so we've been assuming up until now that Elohim is referring to a reference to a judge, not reference to Shem Hashem. But if you say that Elohim is a reference to, if you said Elohim is a reference to God, Elohim, it's a reference to God, Ma'ika Lememor. So then what's Pshat? Elohim Lo Sekalel is not talking about a judge, it's talking, right? And we said that the warning for cursing your father is because judge is extra, it's not needed, but if we say that it's not talking about a judge, then that limud goes away. So the Tanya that we learn in the Brisa, Elohim Chol Div Rabbi Shmuel, says Rabbi Shmuel that Elohim is Chol. It's not Shem Hashem. Rabbi Kiva Elohim Kodesh. Rabbi Kiva says no, it is referring to Shem Hashem. The Tanya we learn in the Brisa, Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov Omer says Rabbi ben Yaakov Azhar Lemorach Hashem Minayin. Where is the warning for cursing God? Elohim Lo Sakal says Elohim Lo Sakal. Elohim is referring to God. Don't curse God. So Elohim Chol Gomer Kodesh Michol. Okay, so if you say Elohim means judge, so we say just like you can't curse a judge, you also can't curse God. Elohim Kodesh Gamrinon Chol Kodesh. And if you say that Elohim is reference to Hashem, so just like you can't curse Hashem, you also can't curse a judge. So Bishlam Elohim Chol Gomer Kodesh Michol. I understand if you say that Elohim is not referring to Hashem. So we're saying just like you can't curse a judge, so you also can't curse Hashem. Right? If you can't curse a judge, certainly you can't curse Hashem. But Elokim Kodesh, but if you said Elokim is a reference to Hashem, why would we learn Achol from Kodesh? Meaning, okay, the pasuk is saying you can't curse Hashem, but maybe you can curse a judge. So Dilma HaKodesh, where am I? Elohim Kodesh. Gomer Chol Mi Kodesh Duma HaKodesh Azir Acholo Azir. Maybe the pasuk is only makbid that say you can't curse God, but maybe you can curse a judge. So in Kain Lichtov Kra Skal, it should say to curse, but without the extra lam. Lo Sikalel Shma Min Atad. In fact, it says Lo Tikalel. It is a reference to both. It's a reference to both. Don't judge. Don't curse don't curse Hashem, and also don't curse a judge. Wow, I just got pretty tired. Wow, it's the middle of the afternoon. It's like 4 in the afternoon, but wow, got pretty tired. Okay. Says Mishnah, Baal Naira Me'orosu. Somebody who's Baal Naira Me'orosu. Enu Chayiv Ajte Naira. Okay, she has to be a Naira, right? Of course, we know there's Katana, Naira, Bulgaris. Naira is when she has Shtei Cyrus, and then for 6 months she's a Naira. After that she's a Bulgaris, before that she's a Katana. So the Mishnah says, Davka, a Naira, right? She has to be a Naira. So about Naira Me'orosu, Enu Chayiv Ajte Naira. She has to be Davka be a Naira, not a Katana, not a Bulgaris. Besula, she has to be a Besula, she can't be a Beula. Me'orasa, she has to be a Naira Me'orasa, she can't be a Nesua. And she still has to be in her father's house. However, as the Gemara is going to point out, once already her father transfers her to the messengers of the husband to go to the husband to get married, then already this isn't relevant. So if somebody sleeps with her on the way, so then this would not be the situation of Naira Me'orasa. if two men had bia with her, Arishan b'skila v'asheni b'chenek, the first one is skila, the second one is chenek. And Rashi points out, meaning if two people had bia with her, shelo kedarka, kilu anal, so she would still be a besula technically, because she still has a besulim, but okay, so she would still be a besula. However, we're saying the first person would be chayiv skila for nar marasa, but the second person already we would say, right? What does Rashi say? The be'ula because we would already consider her to be be'ula, even though she's still a besula, she would be considered also be'ula to the extent that it would not be skila at that point. Okay, fine. Okay. Now it says even though she still has a besulim, she wouldn't be considered a besula. She would be considered a be'ula, and therefore it would be chenek for the second person. Okay, now it says the Gemara. The rabbis taught naira velo bogeris. Okay, so the Mishnah says this is a brisa. The brisa says that when it says naira velo bogeris, the halachos of naira marasa and skila apply to a naira, not to a bogeris. Besula velo be'ula. Okay, she has to be a besula, not a be'ula. Not if she already had bia. Me'orasa v'lo nisua. She has to be a nar me'orasa, not a nisua. She can't be married already, only engaged. Beveis avia, and in her father's house, prat the shemasar avdu shluchi abal, to the exception of if the father had already transferred her, sent her with the messengers of the husband to go get married, then these halachos wouldn't apply anymore at that point. Amar Vida Marab, says Vida Marab, zo divrei Meir, that our Mishnah is the opinion of Reb Meir, that our Mishnah had said that davka nara, to the exclusion of a ketana, to the exclusion of a bogeris, but this Mishnah davka excluded bogeris. The brisa that we just quoted had excluded bogeris, but ketana would be shaykh to the halachos of nara amaraso. So it says of Yudam Marab that the Mishnah, which excludes a ketana, is the opinion of Reb Meir. Hava chachamim Omer, but the chachamim would say, like the brisa, nara marasa afilu ketana b'mashma. That nara marasa includes ketana as well, just not a bogeris. Omer le'avach mediftu le'avina says vach mediftu le'avina remai demasnisim Reb Meir v'lemute ketana nami. How do we know that our Mishnah is Reb Meir, and that when it says naira, it's the exclusion of ketana? Dumar rabbanon v'lemute bogeris v'sulo. Maybe our Mishnah, when it says naira, it's the exclusion of a bogeris. That's it, and it's like the chachamim. But ketana could still be an armor. So Amar Le, Ravina responds, Hai eno chayv ad shetei naira besula me'orasa. Well, the Mishnah says, right, that she's not, what does it say? Abba al naira me'orasa eno chayv ad shetei naira. Until she's a naira, so then he's not chayv. Kilu, he's potter from skila so long as she is not yet a naira, right? Ad shetei naira, he's potter. So eino chayiv ela al nair besura me'orasa mibai lei. So if so meaning right. So because it says that he's potter until she's a naira, so it means that that he's potter as a ketana, and also potter as a bogeris, but chayiv for a naira. But if it was to say naira only to the exclusion of bogeris, then it would be ela al naira besula me'orasa, then it would say you're only chayiv for a naira, but not until she's a naira. And by the Vesulamidi, and therefore that is that, and therefore our Mishnah which says that that he's potter until she's a naira is like Reb Meir who says that you're potter a ketana marasa would be potter. But mine Reb Yaakov bar Ada me Rav, Reb Yaakov bar Ada asked Rav, but la ketana me o rasa Reb Meir mau. Okay, so if a person has bia with a ketana me'orasa, where am I? On a ketana me'orasa. So according to Meir who says that he's potter, does that mean that he's potter in legamre? He's completely potter, or is he just potter from skila b'di b'chayiv chenek mau legamre b'mayitlu? Does Meir say that that the perpetrator would be completely potter over here? Oh, miskila mamadlu, or do we say that because she's a ketana, he's not chayiv skila, but he is chayiv chenek? Amar lei. So Rav responds, mistav miskila mamayit lei. So Rav says, well, probably he doesn't get skila, but he will get chenek. Vakse, but doesn't the pasuk say umesugam shneim? That it says, I think this is in the context of Eishes Ish, But Eishes Ish is chenek, I guess the point. Meaning, if Rav is saying that by Ketana there wouldn't be skila, it would be chenek, I guess the point is that it would be just be considered like an Eishes Ish. But there it says Umeisju Gam Shnei, that both of them will die. Now in this case, she's not going to die because she's a Ketana. So therefore she's not going to die, then I would think that Rameir is saying that he should be potter entirely. Because if she's not going to die, he's not going to die either. Achiyu Shnei and Shavim, they have to be the same. Shasik Rav. So Rav was quiet because Rav had said that he would still get chenek. But how could he get chenek if she's not going to get anything? So Amar Shmuel says, Shmuel, my time Shasik Rav. Why was Rav quiet? V'neimele, Rav should have responded, Umeisa Isha Sheshochavim Levadoi. That the pasuk says, Davka by Nari Marasa, that it says that specifically, the person who sleeps with her Levado, he alone will be killed, and therefore we could say the same thing would apply when she's a Ketana. So Ketana, it's like a machlok sanayim mesugam shneim, that both of them will be killed. Achu shnei and shavin to Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef says that they both have to be equal. They both have to be killed. Rabbi Yonasan Omer says, Rabbi Yonasan umesa ish asher shachavimo levado. Rabbi Yonasan quotes the pasuk that says that only the person who slept with her is killed, but not the Nar Marasa. That's talking about if it was not consensual. Where am I? Ve'idach umesugam shnei my darish bay. So the one who learns it out from umesa ish ashochavim levado. What do you do with umesugam shnei? That you'll kill both of them. That they have to be equal. That's to exclude Maisei Chidudim. That if I think it's like basically like foreplay. If there's no actual bia, so then you'd be potter for that. Right, when we say Meisum Shneim, they have to be equal. That comes to exclude Maisei Chidudim. V'idach, whereas according to the opinion who learns out Meisugam Shneim to mean that they have to be equal, so then it is right now you're not right. You have if she's not getting killed, he's not getting killed. So Maisei Chidudim lav klum. We don't need to learn out any kind of tour of Maisei Chidudim because it's not bia. V'idach, the one right hi levado my darish. But according to the one who learns out from Meisugam Shneim that they have to both be killed, and therefore if she's not being killed, she's a Ketana, then he's also not going to be killed. So my darish, but what does it do with levado? Ketana is learned by asar b'nei adam, that if 10 people had beer with her, Vadaini Basula, but she's still a Basula because it was all Shalo Kedarka, Kulam Beskila, all of them get Skila because she's still a Basula. Rebbe Omer, but Rebbe says, Arishim Beskila v'chulam b'chenek. Rebbe says only the first one would get Skila, but the rest of them would already get Chenek. So that's from Levado, that only the first one would get Skila. Tanabana the Rabbi started, Uvas Ish Koin Kiseichel Liznos. That by Bas Koin Shezinsa, it says that the daughter of Ish Koin Kiseichel Liznos. Okay, when she begins to be Mizane. Rabbi Omer Tchila, Rabbi says initially, V'chein Omer, and similarly it says, Umeisa Isha Sheshochavimo Levado. Also it says by Nar Maroso, Umeisa Isha Sheshochavimo Levado. Mike Omer, what the heck is Rabbi talking about? Omer Vuna Beda Vishur says, Vuna Beda Vishur, Rabbi Kabi Shmuel Svirle. Rabbi Takos like Rabbi Shmuel, that by Bas Koin Shezinsa, the Arusa Yotza L'Sreifa Velo Nisua, that Rabbi Ozek Rabbi Shmuel, who says that Bas Koin Shezinsa applies only to a Naira Marasa, only by a Naira Marasa, but not to a Nisua. V'achikama, this is what Rabbi is saying, Im Tchilas Bia Biznus, that if her initial bia was biznus, right? So meaning, if this Bas Koin is a Naira Marasa, she hasn't had bia yet, she's not a Nesua, and this was the first bia that she had, i.e. she's a Naira Marasa, and she's a Bas Koin Shezinsa, so then B'Sreifa, then she gets Sreifa. Ve'idach be'chenek. But if she's a Nesua, then it would be chenek. My v'chein, and similarly, ki also just like by Naira Marasa. Just like by Naira Marasa, we're talking about the first time she's having bia. Achanami here as well, B'tchilas bia kamishta ikra. By Bas Koin Shezinsa, we're talking about Tchilas bia. She's a Naira Marasa. It's the first time she's having bia, but it wouldn't apply to Nesua. Amar le Rav Beva by Abaye. So says Rav Beva by Abaye. Who's he saying this to? Rav Huna Beda Yeshua. Mar loy achi amar. This is not what I think. The point is not what my Rebbe says. Umanu Rav Yosef is not what Rav Yosef says. Rather, Rebbe ki Reb Meir sphere. Rebbe holds like Reb Meir to Amar nises lechem and apsulim misasu bechenek. That if the bas kohen is married to somebody who's posel to her, for example, a mamzer. So if she's married to somebody who's posel to her, so then she gets chenek. She does not get sreifa. This is what Rebbe is saying. That a bas kohen will only get sreifa if this bia that she had is what made her, that is what was mechal her. Meaning, if she was already married to like a chalal or a mamzer or somebody she's not allowed to be married to, well then she was already micholeletz. So therefore she would not be chayiv sreifa. She's only chayiv sreifa if by doing this she was married in a happy marriage and now she's being mezaneh and that's what's mechal her, well then she's going to be chayiv sreifa. Not if she was already mecholeletz. Ve'idach bechenek. But if she was already mecholeletz because she was married to a mamzer, for example, so then it would be chenek. Umay v'chein simona be'am. And what's this v'chein naira morosa? It's just giving a just like by naira morosa, right? That's the first time she's having bias. Here also, this is the first time that she's being mechuleles. We're just using the concept of first from there, but not anything more than that. Not to say it's like naira morosa or anything. All right, that was daf samach vav of Masechta Sanhedrin. There was some interesting stuff there. We talked about the chiyuv skila for chilul Shabbos, for Mikal of V'imo, and then we got to Nair Morosa as well, and peace out.